closely at the carved balconies of the Jasmine Tower inside the Agra fort. In the mid-17th century, a prisoner stood here every day, looking over the Yamuna River at a monument he was forbidden to visit. That prisoner was Shah Jahan. Before his confinement, he was the emperor of the Mughal Empire, holding absolute authority over millions of people and immense wealth. To understand how an emperor ended up a captive in his own fortress, we have to go back to 1631. That year, his wife, Mumtaz Mahal, died suddenly. The historical accounts describe a profound, shattering grief. Shah Jahan withdrew entirely from public life. According to court chroniclers, the shock of her passing caused the emperor's hair to turn completely white within a matter of months. When he finally emerged from his isolation, he had formed a singular plan. He would pour the immense resources of his empire into a single project, a public, permanent testament of his devotion that would outlast them both. The structure he built serves as a physical record of a broken heart, rendered in marble. Construction began in 1632. Shah Jahan mobilized a workforce of 20,000 artisans, architects, and laborers from across Asia to the banks of the Yamuna River. This photograph shows the scale of the central dome. Supporting thousands of tons of stone right next to a flowing river required digging deep wells, filling them with rock and timber, and creating a stable, engineered foundation to prevent the complex from sinking into the mud. The logistics were staggering. They hauled translucent white marble from quarries in Rajasthan and imported 28 distinct varieties of precious and semi-precious stones from around the world. Those stones were used for a technique known as pietra dura. This process involves slicing colorful gems and inlaying them directly into solid marble. The stones are cut and fitted so tightly that the seams are invisible to the naked eye. If you look closely at a single floral motif, you can see the level of detail. A single, tiny red petal might be constructed from dozens of individual gemstone shards, meticulously shaped and polished to lay flush with the wall. 20 years of continuous, high-precision labor across every square inch of the site turned the complex into a physical record of 2 decades of human effort. A structure this perfect naturally breeds legends. You might have heard the rumor that once the tomb was finished, Shah Jahan ordered the hands of his master artisans to be cut off so they could never recreate its beauty. Historians point out there is no physical or documentary evidence to support this. In fact, historical records show these exact same craftsmen were later employed to build other major Mughal structures across the empire. Beyond the existing tomb, evidence from the time suggests Shah Jahan held an even larger ambition, the Black Taj Mahal. Historical accounts suggest he intended to build an exact replica of the White Tomb using solid black marble, situated directly on the opposite bank of the Yamuna River, connected by a bridge. It was never built. By the 1650s, the emperor's son, Aurangzeb, calculated that funding a second massive tomb would bankrupt the Mughal treasury. Aurangzeb staged a coup, seizing the throne. The vision of a mirrored black tomb died right there, ended by the financial reality of maintaining political power. To secure his new rule, Aurangzeb placed his father under house arrest. Shah Jahan would spend the final 8 years of his life locked inside the Agra fort. This created a specific daily torment. From his prison balcony, the deposed emperor had a direct line of sight to his wife's tomb. He could look at his work every day, but he was forbidden from ever walking through its gates again. When Shah Jahan finally passed away in 1666, he died in his quarters, his eyes fixed on the white marble in the distance. Despite their bitter conflict, Aurangzeb allowed his father to be buried next to Mumtaz Mahal. Because the tomb was originally designed for only one person, Shah Jahan's resting place is the only asymmetrical element in the complex. Over the following centuries, the power of the Mughal Empire fractured and disappeared, yet the marble structure remained. The emperor died in confinement, but the white marble across the river survived to carry his personal story into history.